Hi, I'm Elaine Harding. Welcome to my blog .stampwithelaine.com. Today's project is this Z-fold card. It's really easy to do and it's one of my favourites. I use the Under My Umbrella bundle, which has a umbrella builder punch. The card base is Whisper White thick and it's 4 1/8 by 11.5 inches. With the long side on top, you score at 2 7/8 inches, 5 3/4 inches, and in metric that's 7.3 by 14.6, so that the card folds like that. You need a piece of balmy blue for the Z-fold mechanism, and this has been cut at 1 inch by 11 1/4 inches. You score at 5 3/4 inch and at 8 5/8 inches, and in metric that's 14.6 and 21.9 centimeters. Please just bunch designer series paper, which is from a 12 by 12 inch sheets, and there are 3 of each of 4 designs. So there's the heart one, umbrella, tulips, and the small bloom punch. The small bloom punch is one of the celebration items you can earn at level 2. So I've taken the raindrop pattern, and these have been cut at 2 5/8 by 3 7/8. That's 6.7 centimeters by 9.8 centimeters. You want a Whisper White one, 2.5 by 3 5/8. That's 6.35 centimeters by 9.2. Balmy blue piece, which has been cut at 3 7/8 by 5.5. That's 9.8 centimeters by 14 centimeters. So this piece goes inside here, and these two go in along here. And this Whisper White piece goes along here. You need some Whisper White scrap to stamp the flowers, and also to punch and stamp out the brollies. Now this one I punched out from the designer series paper, and you have to place your punch strategically in order to cut the umbrella out. By strategic I mean this comes out all right because it's right at the bottom, and that's all right. But if you need to cut one here, then you have to cut around the shape of the umbrella in order to get to the ones in the middle. I also punched out some extra ones so that I could mat it at the back so it would have a neater finish. You don't want white against the balmy blue. It's just a little detail. You need a tiny piece of Whisper White for the banner here, and 3/4 inch by 2 3/8 inches. That's 2 centimeters by 6 centimeters. Inks I'm using are Crushed Curry and Balmy Blue Stampin' Blends combos, Calypso Coral combo, and the light Granny Apple Green and light So Saffron. Markers, I'm using the subtle markers and the regal markers. The regal markers in Crushed Curry, and the subtles in Calypso Coral, and the brights, sorry, this is a bright, is in Granny Apple Green. Basic rhinestone jewels. First I'm going to glue my designer series paper onto the panels. I'm also going to glue this Whisper White piece to the left hand side of the card insert, leaving an even border on the top, bottom and side. To stamp the flower I'm using the markers to apply the ink. So I'm going to use the Calypso Coral one with the brush end. There's a thick line and a thin line, and the thin line is the journaling end, which is the nib end, and this is the brush end where the thicker part is. So I use that to colour in the outline of the stamp. And then crushed curry on the 2 outer flowers. And the leaves in Granny Apple Green. Then you need to huff on it to re-moisten the stamp. And because it's photopolymer, you need to make sure that there's a mat underneath so that there's a cushion when you stamp. Then you get better ink coverage. Then I take my journaling side and I run over the outline of the stamp again. That's just to reinforce the colour. Then I'll switch to the stamping blends and I'll use the dark stamping blend in Calypso Coral for the centre, the light for the petals, and then I'll fussy cut. So I need to cut my tab. I'm going to stamp the sentiment, "It's your day," to one side on the banner so that it leaves room to stamp the flower. I'll use the exact same process to ink up the flowers. Go over it with the stamping blends. Next I'm going to stamp the Wellington boots down here and do the same with the flower. Huff on it and stamp on top of the boot. I use the stamping blends to just fill in the colour. Use the balmy blue markers to do a bit of shading. This is the dark. I'm going to stamp the sentiment on here. And some raindrops over here. Punch out and this shape brolly and that shape brolly and a handle. Actually I need 2 handles. One in Whisper White. So I'm going to ink this funny shaped brolly in crushed curry, and I'm going to pop that over the stamp. And I'm just going to colour the brolly in light balmy blue, Granny Apple Green, and dark Calypso Coral. Put some dots on here. Stamp the handle. And glue it to the umbrella. Right, so now I want to attach this to the card. So only apply adhesive to this portion here. it folds in the opposite direction, so goes underneath and out. And you want glue on this side. Hold that down like so. So now I want to glue my flowers to the umbrella with the tab here. About there. I'm going to put another extra layer on because I accidentally put glue where I shouldn't have. I'll glue this bit to the front, and then it's going to be a bit fiddly. Put glue on that. Oops. And attach it to the back of the umbrella here, sandwiching it between the Z-fold mechanism. Now I can put the banner on. I'll cut a little fishtail here. Add some rhinestones. So there's the Z-fold card finished. So I hope you've enjoyed today's tutorial. All the supplies are listed below this video in the show more section. This is the coordination product release, which launched on the 4th of February and will be available while stocks last up until the 31st of March. These are the Please Just Punch Designer Series papers, and I've made a Z-fold card with the Under My Umbrella bundle. Join me again next time for more inspiration. You can find me on Facebook, Pinterest or Instagram. Thanks for watching. Bye.